It's happening again. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has just handed over a new wave of military firepower to Burkina Faso's army. Not promises, not speeches, real weapons, real power. After years of bloodshed and insecurity, the young leader is transforming his country's army into a force the world can no longer ignore. And this time, even the West is watching in shock. For nearly a decade, Burkina Faso has been at war with ruthless insurgents, a conflict that has taken thousands of lives and displaced millions.
Now let's turn our attention to Burkina Faso. This is a landlocked country in West Africa. It is ruled by a military junta and it has witnessed an attack. An armed group has hit a military base. 100 attackers stormed the base. They burned and looted it, leaving 50 soldiers dead.
Entire regions were turned into ghost towns, as ordinary citizens cried out for help and protection. But under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a new era has begun. Traoré promised to rebuild the army from the ground up, and now he's delivering on that promise. In a powerful ceremony held in Ouagadougou, Traoré personally handed over the keys to newly acquired armored vehicles, artillery units, and combat equipment.
I officially give you back the keys of these weapons. It looks like assault rifles. These rifles that we missed a lot in our war. Absolutely. I think it's a welcome. Absolutely. It's not too late. We were waiting for these rifles in there. They just arrived in the camp. It's time to put them to use for the war.
His words were simple, but strong. The moment marked more than a handover. It was a signal of strength, unity, and total readiness for the battle ahead. Welcome to Win Africa, where we bring you the truth behind Africa's biggest transformations. Fearless, factual, and from the people's perspective. Military sources confirmed the equipment included armored vehicles, mounted assault rifles, and heavy artillery, giving the army unprecedented mobility and firepower. Soldiers were seen test-running the vehicles, inspecting every detail, ready to deploy at a moment's notice. The head of the military, addressing the nation, praised Traoré's leadership and revealed that this new load of weapons was designed specifically to boost infantry and cavalry operations.
His Excellency, the President of Cameroon, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, we have officially launched a military material load. This load is essentially a support material for the combat of the infantry. It is artillery and cavalry material to bring a greater firepower in support of the units deployed on the ground. It is material that comes to a point in the framework of the rise in power of the Burkinabe army. As we said, you have been able to observe well at some point the use of material, and it is the continuity of this rise in power to equip Burkina Faso forces with the necessary means for their defense, to ensure the integrity of the territory after having conquered the entirety of our territory, and this also to ensure that in the future the Burkinabe population has an army worthy of this name, equipped from all points of view to be able to assume its protection. And we take this opportunity to at least testify our gratitude to Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who, at least since the advent of the RPSR2, has not made any effort for the French National Army to be rebuilt, because in reality everything has to be done. Everything has to be done, and in the space of 3 years. Many things have been done, and it continues to rise. We also take advantage of your microphone to thank the Burkinabe people who have agreed to consent to make efforts through the Patriotic Support Fund so that all that is seen today can be seen.
He went on to thank both Traoré and the Burkinabe people for funding this transformation through the Patriotic Support Fund, a national initiative where citizens contribute to defense and rebuilding. The atmosphere in Ouagadougou was electric. Rows of newly delivered armored vehicles lined up like symbols of national pride. Some were equipped with heavy machine guns, others with anti-ambush systems and artillery launchers. This delivery marks the continuation of Burkina Faso's rise of power strategy, aimed at achieving total security independence by 2026. No longer will the country depend on outside forces or foreign donors to protect its land. For Traore, this is not just about weapons. It's about sovereignty. It's about proving that an African nation can rise, rebuild, and defend itself without foreign control. Analysts in the West are calling it a bold but defiant move, with some warning that Traore's growing independence could isolate Burkina Faso from its former allies. But for many Africans, this is not isolation, it's liberation. Across social media, people hail the event as a turning point for Africa's military sovereignty. One comment read, "This is what leadership looks like. Africa protecting Africa." This isn't just another military delivery. It's a symbol of rebirth. Burkina Faso is rising, rebuilding, and reclaiming its strength under Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Since 2015, Burkina Faso has faced a relentless wave of terrorist attacks that tore through its northern and eastern regions. Armed groups targeted civilians, schools, and even soldiers, leaving behind fear and devastation. For years, the army fought with limited weapons, outdated equipment, and low morale. But all that is changing. Under Traoré, the country has begun a military transformation, shifting from defensive survival to offensive strength. The latest development shocked even skeptics. In front of cameras, Ibrahim Traoré personally handed the keys of the new equipment to a senior military commander, marking the official transfer of advanced weaponry to frontline forces. He said, "It's time to put them to use for the war." That simple line carried deep meaning. These were not symbolic gifts. They were tools of liberation, meant to protect Burkinabe lives and end a war that has crippled the nation for too long. Let's pause for a second. If you've watched this video up to this point, or you're still tuned in, it means you truly care about the message and support Africa's growth. Please take a moment to subscribe and follow our YouTube community. It shows that you appreciate the effort behind this content and want to see more stories that matter. Let's continue. From handing over rifles to unveiling armored convoys, Traore is showing the world that the days of African dependence are coming to an end. But what do you think? Is this the beginning of Burkina Faso's full military independence, or will it draw new pressure from the West? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Win Africa, where we bring you Africa's boldest stories, unfiltered and fearless. Watch next how Traore defied the US over migrant deportations.